Okay, so we're gonna learn complex number and imaginary unit I. So they, by definition, I is a number. When you square it, become -1. They named it imaginary number I. So this one, so when you square, I is squared into -1. That's I, we call it. So, but I is also, they figured it out, that's square root to -1. Inside of square roots, inside, outside, only thing you can do is a square. Nothing go in and out, right? So, I cube is what? Then I squared times I. So this is -1, that becomes -I, right? I to the fourth power, then I squared times I squared, maybe we can do it that way. So this is -1, so become 1. So I to the fourth power is 1, and that means I to the fifth power, this is I to the fourth power, I. So that's I, and I to the sixth power become, again, -1, and I to the seventh power become -I. So I to the fourth power is 8th power, that's again 1, plus 1. So it's alternating like that. So when you divide by power, I to the something power, this power divided by 4, and then divisible by 4, that become 1. Okay? And then when you divide by 4, remainder is 1, that becomes just I. Remainder 2, because that's I to the second power, that's -1. Remainder is 3, then -I. So I to the 26 power, 26 is you divide by 4, that's I to the 24. That's multiple of the 4, right? So 4 times 6, and I to the second power. This is 1, and I to the second power is -1. So this becomes -2, and I to the 26 power is -1. So this becomes +2. Got it? And now this I to the 2023 power. So I 2020, that's the multiple of 4, and I to the third power, right? So I to the third power is become what? -1. If you don't memorize, you can do it I to the second times I. This is -1, so they become -I. Everybody got it? So, and then any numbers you can express A plus BI form. A and B is a real number, but this A, we call it real number part. Real number part. And then this B, we call it imaginary number part. So anything you can express any number A plus BI form, then take it I like a variable. So what I mean here is this 3 minus 4i, this negative, let's distribute it. Negative times negative, that's +2, and negative plus, that's -3i, right? So that becomes, this doesn't have I, you can calculate 3 plus 2, that's 5, and minus 4i minus 3i, like a variable, like a 4 minus 4x minus 3x, it's minus 7i. That's nothing you can do which doesn't have I, which have I. So this is just answer, A plus BI form. So A is 5, B is -7, so 5 minus 7i, that's our answer. Okay? And product, you just FOIL it. So this 5 times 4, that's a 20, and 5 times -3i, -15i, and here 6 times 4 is a 24, -24i, and then here minus become plus 18 I squares. Only thing you can do, I squared is what? I squared is -1. So this becomes -18, right? So 20 minus 18 you can calculate, so that's a 2, and then this is what? 39 minus 39i. So A plus BI form, all the time you can change it like that, right? And when denominator is I, we call it rationalization of denominator. So you need to get rid of I from the denominator. So in order to do that, you multiply. You just multiply I here, then I will be disappear because I squared equals -1. So I multiplied numerator to I2. So that means I distributed 6i and then minus 9i squared, right? And denominator minus 3i squared. And I squared equals what? Negative 1. So I change that, 6i minus 3 minus 9 minus 9 I squared is negative 1 and minus 3 I squared is negative 1. So I simplify, this is 6i minus minus become plus 9 minus minus become plus 3. That one I can simplify, divide by 3 both numerator and denominator, then this is a 2i plus 3, right? But we need to change it to all the time a plus bi form. So I'm going to write this one first. 3 plus 2i. That's the final answer. A plus bi form all the time. You need to change it. Okay? And then denominator is 2 minus I. In order to rationalize denominator, we call it conjugate. Conjugate is everything same except sign in front of I is opposite. So this becomes 2 plus I is conjugate, right? Remember conjugate? So 2 plus I, you multiply numerator and denominator same. Then denominator is a 2 square minus I square, right? Let's write it 2 square minus I square, right? And you need to FOIL it numerator, that's a 6, and this plus 3i and minus 4i minus 2i squared, right? So 2 squared is a 4 and minus I squared is minus 1. And this is a minus 1 again, right? And so if I calculate, this is a 6 and then this is a minus 1i minus I and minus 2 and minus 1, right? So final answer, this is a 5, denominator is 5, and this, you calculate, this is plus 2 with 6, 8 minus I, right? So we change to a plus bi form, then 8 over 5, that's a minus 1 over 5 I. So a is 8 over 5 and then b is minus 1/5. That's the answer. And last thing, when you see the absolute sign like that of the complex number, so 3 minus 4i and then the absolute sign in front of it. That's so we call it absolute value of this complex number is all the time from the origin to that point is this distance, but you can find it this way. A plus bi absolute value, that's a square root a squared plus b squared. Okay, so a is a 3 squared plus b is negative 4 squared, right? So that means this square root, that's 9 plus 16. This is a 25. Square root of 25 is what? That's a 5. So absolute value of 3 minus 4i is a 5.